Hello, this is Gato Especial, and I'm a firm believer that certain model kits should always be on top of action bases. This is the case for the super custom F2000 Zaku. I didn't say that in order, but whatever. So first of all, I want to talk about this shoulder piece, and I lost this piece. I particularly did not like how Bandai did this because this part was never really secure on, and I should have glued it in inside. But I much prefer when they just cut it by half, and all you really have to do is just glue them together and use some sandpaper for it to look good. Whereas in this way, like, you still have the seam line visible, and it doesn't really serve a real purpose, like, being honest. So for the start with articulation, this moves forward, back, not that much side to side. Knees can bend till that point. This piece can get out of the way, and it allows you to move the leg up until, that point. And it can move to the side until that point. Waist, no mobility there. This is in a ball joint and another joint, so it can move forward and then a little bit more because of the ball joint, and then rotate all around, rotate around, and there's a 90-degree bend. Hands can rotate completely. Head has technically no mobility, and for moving the mono eye around, you have to actually take the head off and move it from the underside, which I won't do because it's kind of frustrating. This thing can move up and all around if the arm wasn't there, and the hands can rotate as well. So there you go. Accessories, we have this thing, which is the shield slammer. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know what it is for, but I guess you melee people with it. It has the same mounting piece as this thing. So if you want to make it look like a normal Zaku, I guess you could. You have the big axe. Pretty nice piece here. We have the heat hawk. This machine gun, which mounts so well that I won't take it off because it's kind of frustrating to put it on and off. Same thing with this one. They mount pretty well though, I won't lie about that. They don't really fall off, and they just feel really secure. We have this weapon, the SMG, which is pretty interesting because I hadn't seen this on another mobile suit. Another thing I may want to say about both weapons, the Zaku machine gun and this one, is that they actually have a peg. And if you have the trigger finger hand, trigger finger hand, you can put the peg inside and they lay really secure, which I guess is a good point of this kit. Then we have, I'll show you the Zaku machine gun. This has articulation here, and it has a handle that has articulation. Pretty standard Zaku machine gun. So yeah, I already talked about the trigger finger hand. We have a left open hand, and we have two closed fists. And you actually have to paint the top side of them because these parts cannot be placed on these hands. Aside from this, we have three options for the head. We have the commander's antenna one. There you go. And we have this one, which has like little groups to it. I just shows the normal Zaku head because personal preference, I guess. So final thoughts on this kit. I gotta say, when you're playing around with it, it just feels very flimsy for some reason. And I really don't like that, especially for this review. It has been really frustrating. But aside from that, if you want a really brutal, heavily weaponized Zaku, I would tell you go for this one. I guess you should learn from my mistake. This piece should be glued. For the positives, it looks really good. Has a lot of weapons. Has a lot of. It looks really interesting. I personally like a lot of. I like the kit a lot aesthetically. Not so much when you hang around with it. I'd say it's one of those kits that you put on top of the action stand, put it in a pose you like, and leave it alone because it is kind of annoying. So that about does it. I'll see you in my next review.